Okay, so just about 3 years ago, I did a video highlighting the top 5 best shiny Pokemon in Kanto, and well, it was bad, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I mean, taking a look back on it now, it's quite nice to see how much the channel has changed since the beginning, but honestly, it's really hard to watch. So hard, in fact, that I've decided to bring this series back to life and redo my top 5 favorite shiny Pokemon in Kanto. Not to worry though, this video will not entirely be the same thing as the last one, because my opinions on shiny Pokemon have changed over the last 3 years. Plus, it's my channel, I do what I want. And like I originally planned the first time around, this top 5 will be split into a 7-part series, detailing what my favorite shiny Pokemon are in each region, Gens 1 to 7. And although shiny Pokemon are just a change of color palette, there are plenty of reasons to love a particular shiny, whether it be how cool it looks, an interesting origin, or even sentimental value. And that's what I'm going to be taking into account when making this list. Of course, if you guys think there's a shiny Pokemon that deserves to be on this list, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so back when I first did my favorite shiny Pokemon in Kanto video, I labeled Ponyta as one of the best shinies in the region. And while I still think its shiny is very awesome to look at, I have to admit I'm not as big on blue flames as I once was. Gray flames though? Now we're talking. But in all seriousness though, I was always drawn to the Rapidash line simply because of how majestic and awesome it looked. I loved the addition of literal fire on its mane. It really adds a lot of charisma and character to the design. So when I saw that its shinies turned to blue and gray respectively, how can I not get on board with it? Now, sure, at first I did love the blue Ponyta more, but as I got older, I really started to see the beauty in Rapidash's shiny. The gray really adds kind of an ominous tone to the Pokemon because it's such a dead color. It reminds me a lot of this Alolan Rapidash I commissioned for my new Alolan forms for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon video. I love the whole dark and ominous look because I feel it adds a whole new perspective to Rapidash's design. It looks like it's been through some shit, man. And when a shiny can do something that crazy, you know I have to put it on the list. Alright, so this next Pokemon has not only a cool design, but also a pretty awesome backstory as well. I am of course talking about my personal favorite Poison-type Pokemon of all time, Weezing. Now, when first looking at this Pokemon, it doesn't seem to look like much, being based on a naval mine and some form of air pollution. But I mean, with the origin it was given, I think Game Freak knocked it out of the park with this Pokemon design. To me, this Pokemon is a perfect representation of my home being Los Angeles, and that really means a lot to me. I mean, I know it's not necessarily a good thing that Los Angeles is a polluted wasteland, but hey, it's my home, so I can't hate it. But enough about the Pokemon, what about its shiny? Well, being that it's on the list, I of course think this shiny is freaking amazing. The teal light blue color is pretty alright, but what gets me about this Pokemon is the added purple smoke. I think it's a really nice touch that adds a lot to the shiny. It really helps magnify that the gas coming out of its body is in fact poisonous, since purple is so commonly associated with poison. Also, I remember when Chugga got it in his Pokemon Crystal playthrough, and his reaction was absolutely priceless, and it is more than enough to make it on this list for that reason alone. If there's one shiny that I think everybody and their mom cares the least about, it has to be shiny Gyarados. I say this because its shiny is the simplest to obtain in the entire franchise. All you have to do is own a copy of a Gen 2 game and you're guaranteed to get one during your playthrough. So for that fact alone, a lot of people get turned off at the sight of a red Gyarados simply because of how common it is. But honestly, I could care less about the rarity of a shiny as long as it just looks awesome, and shiny red Gyarados is awesome, goddammit. Firstly, I gotta say, even though the change is pretty simple from blue to red, I honestly think the hot red color suits Gyarados a lot better than its regular form. And at the end of the day, what I think makes a shiny Pokemon good is whether or not it looks better than the original color palette. Otherwise, what's the point of spending all of that time to try to shiny hunt for it? And shiny Gyarados passes that test with flying colors, pun intended. Secondly, I think it's very cool that the shiny itself also has some meaning. You see, as you guys know by now, Gyarados and Magikarp are based on the Carp in Dragon's Gate Chinese legend. It essentially states that a carp that is able to leap over the falls of Yellow River at Dragon's Gate would transform and become a dragon. And being that Chinese dragons are often depicted sporting the color red, it's a nice touch to see that the shiny itself has some meaning, even though it may just be small. All in all, although Gyarados is definitely the easiest shiny to find, that doesn't mean it's bad by any shape or form. In fact, it's pretty damn awesome. Now, of course, when it comes to shiny Pokemon, how can I go about discussing this list without at least mentioning my first ever shiny Pokemon? And as you guys know from last week's video, that of course is Grimer. Now, I'm not going to spoil the details on the backstory behind my first shiny, so if you want to find out how I got it, just do me a favor and check out last week's video. Link to that is in the top right corner. But this Pokemon isn't only awesome to me because it's my first ever shiny, it's also just a very well designed shiny. For one, I absolutely love the green coloration on this shiny. I know it's kind of a puke green, but growing up I was always fascinated with Nickelodeon, and Grimer's shiny always reminds me of the slime that was so often used on the channel. And the gooey, slimy substance is kind of a really good representation of what Grimer is as a Pokemon, being, well, toxic waste. And this is a very rare case because normally I freaking hate pink and green shinies, and the fact that I'm able to like one of them shows how much Grimer means to me. Also, I have to say, I love Game Freak so much for turning this shiny into Alolan Grimer's regular color palette and making it shiny purple like its Kanto form. It's a great callback to the original games, and design-wise, it just looks good. So while yes, Grimer will always be special to me because it was my first shiny, there are also plenty of other reasons why I hold this Pokemon dear to my heart. Alright, I'm gonna level with you here. If I hadn't already done so many videos explaining how Charizard's shiny is amazing, it would have been #1 on this list for sure. But considering I'm almost beating a dead horse here, I decided to shine some light on a different Pokemon for once. Cause Lord knows Charizard does not need any more spotlight. But to avoid sounding like a broken record here, coming at the #1 spot, we have one of the most deep and well thought out shinies in the entire franchise, Ninetales. Firstly, I gotta say before we even get to that this shiny looks freaking majestic. The coloration fits the persona of Ninetales perfectly. It almost seems like this was supposed to be the original color. And like I said before, if you manage to make a shiny that looks better than its original, then in my eyes, it's an A+ shiny, and Ninetales easily fits that bill. From its nice gray elegant fur to the wispy blue tips on its tails. And believe it or not, that elegant gray fur actually has meaning behind its design. To provide background, Ninetales is based on the Kitsune, a shape-shifting fox that can bear as many as 9 tails. Now you may be wondering, how does this at all relate to Ninetales' shiny? Because if you take a look at some of the artwork, the Kitsune seems to be depicted in the same color as regular Ninetales. But like I said before, Ninetales can bear as many as 9 tails, meaning you can have less. What I mean is the amount of tails a Kitsune has signifies how old and wise the fox is, and once you hit that 9th tail, you basically open your 3rd eye and become God! Oh, and you also get that silvery coat of fur. Therefore, coming around full circle to Ninetales' shiny. I also love the shout out to the version exclusives, as since shiny Pokemon were introduced in Generation 2, Ninetales and its counterpart Arcanine were color coded according to the game they were exclusive to. Arcanine being gold and Ninetales silver. So as you can see, this Pokemon Shiny, like I said before, is one of the most well thought out Shiny Pokemon ever made. And although it's not technically my favorite Shiny Pokemon, this will always be a very well respected Shiny in my eyes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments section below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and become an Eryizo today. If you want to check out the previous video I did, be sure to click the annotation on the left. If you want to see more Pokemon Let's Go videos, click the other annotation on the right. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time.